Poland might be one of the most at-risk countries in the world today. For hundreds of years, it's been surrounded by foes wanting to take it over. But now, Poland has grown into a strong nation ready to stand up to Russia. In fact, Poland's rise is making Putin nervous because his plan for a new Soviet-style empire is facing a big challenge right here. So, what could happen if Russian troops step into Poland? It's a scary thought, but it's a real chance. NATO and Polish reports always keep this possibility in mind. Some experts say Poland could be a key spot in a new world war, maybe sparked by the Russia-Ukraine fight. It's hard to predict for sure, but Poland isn't taking any risks. If you picture a line between Poland and Russia, you'd think of the narrow Suwałki Gap, the Kaliningrad Pocket, and the swampy Belarus border. Along this line, you also see small Baltic coast towns, the smooth Warsaw-Poznan highway, and the wide Vistula River bends. This tight area is where Eastern Europe's security, called a shared geography, shared fate, by planners, has turned from a plan into a tense reality. Let's start by looking at it from Poland's side. Before we dive in, please subscribe, like our videos, and turn on notifications. To get why there's tension between Russia and Poland and a chance of war, we need to look at their past clashes. Sitting at Europe's center, Poland has had its ups and downs for centuries, shaped by nearby powers. In the 1500s, a united Poland was Europe's biggest and strongest country. But that power faded when, from 1772 to 1918, it was split up by Russia, Prussia, and Austria. It became a nation again in 1918, but two world wars hit it hard in the 1900s. Russia's control over Polish land started in the 1700s and 1800s when the Russian Empire tried to grab parts of it. During World War I, Russia took most of Poland before Germany pushed them out. Between the wars, Poland and the Soviet Union fought over Ukraine and Belarus. In 1939, the Soviet Union invaded eastern Poland, and Germany took the West under a secret deal. In World War II, Poland was occupied by both, then reoccupied by the Soviets in 1944. After the Nazis fell, Poland lost its freedom and became a communist state under Soviet rule. Without Polish workers' pushback, it might have stayed that way for nearly 50 years. After World War II, Poland stretched from the Baltic Sea to the Carpathian Mountains. In May 1989, the communist government fell with others in Eastern Europe, starting a quick shift to democracy, though old authoritarian ways threatened to return in the 2000s. Early in the 2000s, Poland joined NATO and the European Union, enjoying lots of goods. This happened around the same time Putin rose to power in Russia. With memories of past invasions, Poland now turns its old motto into real defense plans. So, if Moscow, after Ukraine, targets the Western alliance, tests NATO with sneaky moves through Belarus, or tries a little green men trick from Kaliningrad, it could end badly for Putin. This chance of Russia attacking Poland isn't just about how fast Europe's trouble spot might ignite. It's also a tough test of whether democracy, teamwork, and global laws can hold strong. Now, let's break down what could happen if Russia invades. Since 2022, the Warsaw government has built its safety plan on three main ideas. First, team deterrence. Getting NATO's fifth rule, an attack on one is an attack on all, ready to work. Second, self-reliance. Poland boosting its own weapons without leaning too much on allies. Third, border protection. Setting up deep, layered defenses along all edges, including Belarus, Kaliningrad, the Carpathians, and the Baltic coast. Over the past 2 years, Poland has quietly reshaped itself across the flat land from Germany to the Carpathians. The Ukraine war wasn't just a neighbor's fight for Warsaw, it was the moment Europe's safety broke. Since then, all defense talks focus on one question. If Moscow stretches west from Ukraine one day, where will Russian troops cross first, and who will fight back? This worry has pushed Poland to build a new plan with three connected parts. The first is making NATO's fifth rule a real, always-on shield. The second is growing Poland's own firepower so deterrence isn't all on the alliance. The third is turning border areas from easy invasion paths into tough obstacles with mines, trenches, and sensors. These goals aren't just talk, they're real. Active soldiers jumped from 216,000 to 250,000 in 2 years and are set to hit 300,000 by 2030. The army grew from 6 to 10 brigades, each with new artillery, drone teams, and civilian military links. Basically, Poland is getting a first day, first hour response it never had. Warsaw's big bet is on tanks. A Polish general says it's simple with a sharp eye. K2 Black Panther tanks from South Korea are in Bialystok, and Abrams SCPV-3 tanks are in Poznan near a US ammo stash. Tank numbers will top 1,500 on paper, more than all EU armies combined. From Moscow's view, the key is where these tanks go. Bialystok is closest to Kaliningrad up north, and Poznan is a short drive from the Baltic coast, aiming straight at the Russian pocket from the start. Artillery's the same story. Mixing 20 American HIMARS batteries with 300 South Korean Chunmoo rocket launchers gives Poland a 900 kilometers reach. Even if the attack starts in Belarus, counter-strikes can hit key spots fast, even from Kaliningrad. This precise hit strategy adds big costs to Russia's old, fire and advance, plan. Air defense is a big question. In 2014, Poland was fixing old Soviet S-125 launchers. Now, it has Patriot PAC-3 MSE, Cam-Er, Spider, and Pioran shoulder rockets in a layered setup. By 2030, it wants Israel-Italy's SAMP-T Layer 2. This system runs like an app. A ballistic missile from Belarus triggers an automatic response on which layer fires when. If a Russian pilot thinks he can sneak across, turn off radar, and hide in hills, a Pioran from a Polish soldier is ready. What about going around Belarus? Minsk's army can't do it alone, but Belarus offers two perks: an arc to cut the Lithuania-Poland line like the Suwałki Gap, and a flanking move from the Puszcha marshes to Polish plains. Warsaw fights back with its Eastern Shield project, lining the border with concrete trenches, pits, remote mines, sensors, and drone towers. Ottawa's talk of easing off the anti-personnel mine treaty comes from this need. The Belarus plan also uses the local militia, the Territorial Defense Force, TDF, with 40,000 members who know the land. With night vision and small drones, they say they can trap small border intruders fast. Regular Russian units would struggle. The Kaliningrad scenario is more traditional. The Russian pocket has about 1,000 modern tanks, strong air defense, and anti-ship guns. Poland leans on three allied layers: Lithuania's forces first, then Poland's K2 Chunmu mix, and US tank HIMARS support from Poznan. Baltic subs, like Germany's Type 212 as from Norway, add pressure, cutting Russia's sea supply lines. This risks Kaliningrad running low on ammo fast. War games aren't set in stone, but think tanks like RAND's 2024 report say even if Russia sends 1,300 armored vehicles in a first wave, NATO reinforcements could reach Poland in 10 days. Russian logistics would stall in Belarus and Kaliningrad. Even with heavy losses, Poland's land would hold, and Russia's gains would be slim. A key detail: Poland's road upgrades. The Via Carpathia and Moira-Romania lines, with Patriot launchers and Abrams tank rail adapters, can move gear to Suwałki in 8–10 hours. A backup fuel pipeline can reverse flow if hit, so one missile won't stop all stations. For NATO, any fifth article trigger is an attack on all. Though used only once since 9/11, Poland worries if the US will step up. To ease this, the US made 5th Corps HQ in Poznan permanent, with 10,000 rotating troops and a huge base in Poznan storing 215 Abrams tanks, 235 Bradleys, and 150 Paladins, ready to roll. Britain, Canada, Germany, and France also send rotating drills to the Baltic Line, mixing Leopard and Leclerc tanks. This constant movement confuses Russian spies. In the air, F-35 is aimed to strike Russian defenses unseen on Night 1. Patriots and SAMP-T limit hypersonic threats like Kinzhal and Iskander missiles. By 2030, with Germany's A-3 missiles, a full north-south shield could form. For now, split-second targeting decides missile shots instantly. Poland's also funding cheap kamikaze drones. War-made drones can hit tanks with grenade-like blasts, worrying Russia more than pricey armor. Would Russia risk it? An attack on Poland only makes sense if Ukraine falls first. Kiev still stands, and Russia's losing big there. Hitting a NATO country could shake Moscow's stability. Some say the US might delay, but Germany's new armored line and Poland's growing tanks aim to fight back day one, not wait. Poland's broader plan, the Three Seas Initiative, Baltic Black Sea, links Czechia, Slovakia, Romania, and the Baltics with energy and transport projects, dulling Russia's energy grip. When Via Carpathia and LNG terminals are done, gas cuts won't work. Poland keeps air defenses alert, scanning Belarus nightly. If Russia crosses, it'll be with artillery, drones, and rockets, using multi-layered pressure over single shots. On nukes, Russia might use small tactical weapons if losing conventionally, but NATO sees any nuke as a full response under Article 5, risking Moscow's own destruction. Poland's people aren't forgetting civil defense. 500,000 survival guides are out, old subways are shelters, siren drills are in schools, and fuel stocks last 3 months. Unlike 1939, they're ready. If Russia invades, it won't be like old movies with a weak army against tanks. Poland's strength is tied to NATO, its economy backed by energy lines, and its people trained with the military. The cost for Russia, big losses, global isolation, and internal unrest, could turn its people against Putin. Leopard tanks in the north send a clear message: step here, and you face Europe and maybe your own folks' anger. The price might topple Putin's rule. After Ukraine, another fight seems unlikely. If he tries, it could end him. An attack might collapse Moscow's power. Thanks for watching.